Welcome to The Explainer. We're jumping straight into something absolutely crucial for your everyday well-being, building an emotional self-defense toolkit. Look, we've all been taught to be kind, right? To see the potential in people, to be forgiving. But what happens when those beautiful qualities are actually turned against us? Today, we're combining ancient relationship wisdom with the ironclad resilience of Stoic philosophy. We're going to help you protect your energy, master those boundaries, and completely reclaim your self-worth. Okay, let's dive into this. Have you ever walked away from a conversation feeling just completely exhausted, or maybe confused, or suddenly doubting yourself, even if you can't pinpoint exactly what went wrong? Well, that drained feeling is a massive clue. Ancient teachings tell us that your intuition is incredibly powerful. It actually picks up on the energetic signature of manipulation way before your logical brain can even process it. When words carry a subtle lack of respect, your body literally feels it first. So here's our roadmap for today. Number 1, detect spotting emotional predators. Number 2, deflect, the Stoic shield. And number 3, protect, reclaiming self-worth. Let's get right into section 1, detect, spotting emotional predators. We're calling them emotional predators. Drawing from the teachings of Shi Hang Yi, think of it like this. When someone speaks to you, they aren't just passing along data. They are transferring their internal state and their intentions directly into your energetic field. Emotional predators use very specific language patterns to lower your standards and, honestly, to make you question your own worth. Let's look at the 5 most dangerous phrases they use. You're too sensitive, or, it's annoying cousins, like you're being dramatic, or you're overreacting. Guys, this is pure psychological manipulation. When someone drops this line, they're trying to make you question your own perception of reality. They're basically testing to see if you'll shrink your emotional intelligence just to make them feel more comfortable. A healthy person gets curious about your feelings. A predator dismisses them so they don't have to take responsibility. Then there's phrase number 2, I'm just being honest. Now, context is literally everything here. When this phrase immediately follows a cruel or unnecessary comment, actually, let's call it what it is. When it follows a blatant insult, it reveals a complete lack of empathy. It's a cheap attempt to assert dominance while making you feel like you're the problem for getting hurt by their so-called truth. And this brilliantly illustrates the difference. On one hand, you have cruelty disguised as honesty, which is essentially emotional violence wearing a mask of virtue. On the other hand, you have true honesty. True honesty is always delivered with compassion, kindness, and a genuine care for your well-being. True honesty builds you up. Weaponized honesty tears you down. Alarm bell number 3 is the phrase, you're being controlling. Predators love to use this when you try to set a perfectly reasonable boundary. Let's say you ask for clear communication or just basic respect. If they call that controlling, that is classic gaslighting. They are actively trying to train you to abandon your standards so they can just have total convenience without having to respect your peace of mind. I'm not ready for a relationship. Oh man, we've all known someone who pulled this move, right? But here's the trap. They say this while treating you like you are in a relationship. They text you constantly, they share intimate details, they take up all your free time. This phrase is a built-in escape hatch. It gives them all the emotional and physical benefits of having you around with absolutely zero accountability. It just keeps you in this painful limbo, waiting for a commitment they've already told you they aren't going to make. And finally, phrase 5. This one is incredibly subtle, but totally devastating. You've changed, but not in a good way. An emotional predator pulls this out when they feel threatened by your personal growth. You see, as you build confidence and set boundaries, you become way less manageable to them. They preferred the smaller, more accommodating version of you. Real love champions your growth, but toxic possession, it tries to halt it in its tracks. So just to wrap up our detection phase, let's look at the hidden motives behind these phrases. They're basically tactics for gaslighting your reality, weaponizing honesty, attacking your boundaries, avoiding any real accountability, and punishing your growth. Recognizing these tactics is step 1 of your energetic self-defense. But what happens when you do set a boundary and they respond with silence, indifference, or flat-out rejection? That brings us to section 2, deflect, the Stoic shield. So how do we handle the cold shoulder? We use Stoic detachment. Inspired by the great Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, Stoicism teaches us something profound. Another person's inability to see your worth does not decrease your value in any way. Instead of letting rejection push you down, Stoic detachment allows you to use calmness and indifference to turn that rejection into a powerful stepping stone for your own growth. Let's contrast these two approaches. When someone pulls away or ignores us, our gut emotional reaction is usually to panic, right? To reach out, beg for their attention, try to prove our worth to them. But Stoic calmness is completely different. It's the empowering choice to step back, maintain your inner peace, and realize that you don't need their external validation to be whole. We've basically taken 13 ancient Stoic lessons on rejection and boiled them down into a super practical, modernized 3-step shield for deflecting negative energy. Those 3 steps are embrace silence, focus inward, and detach emotionally. Let's break these down real quick. Let's move to step 1 and see how this builds. Embrace silence. If someone gives you the cold shoulder, cut off contact. Ignore them right back. Do not bombard them with messages, and definitely don't beg for closure. This silence isn't some petty game. It is an active, strategic boundary. You are sending a crystal clear message that you respect yourself far too much to chase someone who doesn't see your value. It preserves your dignity. Step 2 is to focus inward. Just completely remove them from your mind by channeling all that energy right back into yourself. Go out, have fun, embrace joy as a deliberate act of resilience. Because honestly, the absolute best way to prove a doubter wrong isn't by arguing with them. It's by silently building a fortress of competence and self-assurance. Build your skills, hit the gym, advance your career. You make your own life so vibrant that their rejection becomes totally irrelevant. And step 3, detach emotionally. If you absolutely have to interact with this person, be incredibly polite and kind, but keep a strict emotional distance. Keep conversations brief, businesslike. And crucially, never reveal your inner struggle to them. Staying polite but detached protects your peace, prevents unnecessary drama, and shows absolute, unshakable emotional maturity. Which brings us to our final section, Section 3, Protect, Reclaiming Self-Worth. Now, what's really interesting about this concept is how it completely flips your perspective. Your boundaries aren't walls that keep love out. They're gates that let the right love in. We so often feel guilty for setting boundaries because we think we're being difficult, but setting conditions for how you are treated is actually the ultimate act of self-love. The people who resist your boundaries, they aren't your people. The ones who respect the gate are the ones who actually deserve access to your energy. Adopting this requires a massive paradigm shift. The old mindset told us that it was our job to heal others, to shrink ourselves to make them comfortable, and to be endlessly patient even when we were the ones getting hurt. The new mindset is fundamentally different. It's about honoring yourself, protecting your peace, and expanding your growth. It is simply not your job to love people into becoming better versions of themselves at the expense of your own well-being. So the crucial point is this, your final armor. Walking away from someone who diminishes you isn't cruel. It is pure self-love. Always remember that true validation comes from within, not from begging for someone else's attention. Celebrate your own growth, even if it intimidates the people around you. And above all, ruthlessly protect your energy. By mastering your boundaries and your emotional reactions, you literally become untouchable. I want to leave you with a final, pretty provocative thought. Really ask yourself right now, who are you shrinking yourself to accommodate? Whose comfort are you prioritizing over your own authentic growth? The love and respect you're looking for can only find you when you finally stop settling for less. Reflect on that, raise your gates, and stay stoic. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and I'll see you next time.